Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the Professor's Picks, alongside, of course, as always, Mr. Ken Golden, the Professor of Prague. Here he is.
Very early recording.
Yes, we normally do these on Thursday afternoons when Ken is bushy-tailed and wide awake, and I wasn't able to yesterday. And I said, "Can you do early Friday morning?" I know you were sitting there like, "Shit, I knew he was going to ask me that."
Like I said, I'm not 100% sure I have all my faculties, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see.
There you
See.
go. There you go.
So yeah, it's sort of a quiet week, but I got a few things for us to talk about. But nothing mind blowing. Let me um let me load this stuff, and let's start with one pre-order that we have. Here we go. New car mechanic,
Wow.
transmutation. So Jonas Reingold, who was the bass player in Flower Kings, now the bass player for Steve Hackett. He resurrected Car Mechanic, which was his side project. Very good band, and I think he's kind of called in his chips, and he's got a lot of people playing on this record.
I'm
So it's like
sure.
the expanded version of Car Mechanic. Here's some of the guys on here. You got Simon Phillips on here. You got basically the entire Steve Hackett band. He's got Hackett's playing on here. Nick DiVirgilio, Craig Blundell, Randy McStein, who played with Steven Wilson and
Yep.
Porcupine Tree, Tomas Bowden, the keyboard player, the old keyboard player from the Flower Kings on here, John Mitchell from Arena and Frost, Andy Tillison from the Tangent, Lolly Larson from the keyboard player, amazing, Lolly's amazing, playing from the Flower Kings, Luke Masham from Tangent, let's see, Rob Townsend and Roger King, both from Hackett's band, Gordon Edmond, who was the singer on the first Karmic, well, the first, I guess, was three or four. Great singer. And yeah, some other people I don't know. And
So basically,
I've heard,
everybody you would expect except for Roy Stolt.
yeah, yeah, that's basically true.
Odd, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
but
maybe not.
I won't read into it. I don't know. So yeah, that is out March 7th, and I've heard it. And if you like Car Mechanic, if you liked them in the past, you're gonna dig this.
It's been a
Uh,
while. When was the last one? It seems like it's been forever.
it's I think I forget what the bio said. It could be like 10 years or
I was going to say it's easily got to be a decade. Easily.
something. Quite a while.
Oh,
All right,
welcome
let's
aboard.
let's move on to the regular stock. Let me move my stuff out of the way. Okay. This is sort of weird the way they're doing this. We got the ear book in on the new Avatarium, which is called Between You, Gold, the Devil, and the Dead. This is so they're called doom metal, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of tenuous. You know why I think they're called doom metal? Because Leaf Idling from Candlemass had started the band.
Yeah, and their first album was kind of doomy, but I wouldn't call their last few really doom. It's more like kind of like epic metal and hard rock, and there's touches
Yeah,
of
but good. I like them.
Renaissance style stuff on there too. Yeah,
I like the singer Jenny Ann Smith. I
she's
think.
awesome. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
really good.
I I I would love to see that band play. So the CD, the regular CD and the vinyl is coming out uh, on February 7th, San Diego Dream Theater. And for some reason, the art book edition, the elaborate art book edition, is available now. And it comes with a second CD, a live CD, I think live in Leipzig. So, yeah. So yeah, we have the vinyl on order and the CD, regular CD. All right, next thing. Going back in time a bit to 1968. We're going back in time to 1968. This has been reissued before. The Blackbirds, No Destination. They were a German band led by the guitar player Werner Browning. This is organ-driven psychedelic blues rock, kind of like if you're into like the Animals, Yardbirds, that sound, very British sounding. A lot of organ, like I said, kind of sort of like a Farfisa sound to it. The next door album was called Touch of Music. That one came out in '71, and that was like moving into like a prog direction. But if you're into that early, that late '60s maybe I wouldn't call it swing in London, but it's very, very British, very British sounding. The buy or die for the week is this Jan Hammer Group live in New York. And I was really excited about this. I didn't realize this, but apparently Jan put this out as himself as digital files some years ago. George mentioned it. And now it's getting a legit release from Made in Germany. It was, I believe it's a radio broadcast. Quality's perfect.
Hmm.
It was recorded at the Bottom Line in New York, 1975. And it's Jan Hammer on keyboards, Steve Kindler on violin, Fernando Saunders on bass, Tony Smith on drums. And man, if you like Mini Moog, I assume that's what he played, right? At Mini Moog?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going nuts on this thing. So, I mean, there's no guitar, but you don't miss it. There's no Jeff Beck, but it's
Well, you got
okay.
the violin, right? Eric, you listening? Yeah.
Eric, I think Eric's got it.
Oh, there you go.
I think Eric's got his copy. So, it's really, really good. It's about an hour's worth of
Oh,
show.
good.
So I don't know if like WNEW broadcasted back in the day, but anyway, but it's licensed, made in Germany, totally legit, and not the most beautiful looking layout or anything, but it does the job. So all right, in a totally different direction, the Labyrinth in the vanishing echoes of goodbye. I don't know what that means. So the Labyrinth, Italian power metal guys have been around forever. They have phony names. They're all Italian. Olaf Thorson, he's not Scandinavian. Oleg Smirnov, he's not Russian. You know. So, they're fronted by Rob Taranti, Roberto Taranti, great singer, and I mean, all these guys. I was just thinking about like the Italian power metal scene. It's like its own cottage industry.
It is. It is.
There's Scarlet Records and now there's this new label Rock Shots and there's all these other labels and they're just cranking this stuff out and they all play on each other's
Yep.
albums.
Yep.
Olaf Thorson isn't like Vision Divine. That was like I think that was his. Oleg Smirnov, he was originally I remember him being in Eldritch. So
That was a really good band
yeah,
for a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's just like and Rob Taranti, he actually sang in New Trolls. He sang in he was singing with New Trolls and he sang with Mangalavalis, so in the prog world. But all these guys, they pop up. It's if you've got an Italian power metal album, just take a look in the back. One of these guys may be on there.
Yeah. It's probably half or a quarter of the Labyrinth dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, and
There
it's
was a while, man, like in the late '90s, early 2000s, man. There was Italian power metal popping up everywhere. It's like it was either Italy or Sweden. It was just like
yeah,
all over the
I
world.
Rhapsody and then Rhapsody of
Yep.
Fire, and it's like it's,
Some Mob Rules or Freedom Call, aren't they Italian as well? I don't remember.
no, Freedom Call, Jim, Freedom Call, what, Swedish, German? Yeah, it's Swedish or German.
Okay.
Mob Rules, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
But one of them was.
it's just so many like Scarlet Records. I mean, they just keep cranking them out, and yeah, it's just if you're into the sound, I mean, Mob Rules is German. So and Taranti, I mean, they're a great band. I mean, Labyrinth for what they do, and Taranti is a great singer. So
Yeah, he is.
all right, moving on into a realm I don't know. You know this band? Paragon
Uh,
Metallation. I don't know. German. They said Teutonic power metal.
yeah, they're kind of thrashy. Good band. Good band. Great guitar work. Really good guitar work.
Looks a little scary to me, but all right. Not,
That's a metal album cover right there.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure if it was like a death metal album or what, but they said Teutonic power metal.
Yeah, they're border on thrash for the most part.
Like we have customers for that stuff.
Yeah.
Next one's a good one. So I did the previous album by this band,
Yeah.
Virtual Symmetry, Veils of Illumination. They self-released this new one. Swiss Italian band. Very much, I say, Dream Theater is clearly an influence. I mean, that's the direction of prog metal we're talking about. Led by well, I shouldn't say necessarily led, but Marco Pastorino is the lead vocalist, and Marco is in a number of bands. He's in Temperance, he's in Serenity. He's like, here he's the singer, and the other bands I think he's playing bass and guitar. So again, part of that whole Italian metal scene. So
The
very,
last one
very,
was
very
quite
good.
good. The last one was
Yeah,
really good.
yeah, and long tracks and very, very proggy, cool stuff. So that's what we have for new CDs for the week. Let's hit the vinyl. I had the CD of this a few weeks ago. Excuse me. Brian Beller. It's called Scenes from the Flood. So album he put out in 2019, it had slipped past me as a CD, and I became aware of it because they're just soliciting it as a vinyl for the first time. So it's a 3 LP blue vinyl. And Brian Beller, as people know, he is in the Aristocrats. He's played with Steve Vai. He's played with a lot of people. So this is like a triple album. He's got Nelly Brosh on guitar. I'm looking at just some of the names that pop out at me. Janet Feder, Guthrie Govan, Ray Hearn from Haken, Gene Hoglan, the drummer Mike Keneally's on here. A couple of guys that sound familiar. John Petrucci, Joe Satriani, I think I've heard of those guys. Joe Travers, Zappa archivist, drummer. So yeah, it's a lot of music. Next one is an album that I'm very excited about. They're actually going to show up here this afternoon. And I think you and I talked about this when we did the Latin Primer show, the Latin Rock Primer. So I'm going to show it with the Fantasyland price sticker that I bought in Atlanta,
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
$15. So you guys don't know what this is. What this is an album by a trumpeter, Luis Gasca. And the name of the album is For Those Who Chant. And you used to be able to buy this album in the dollar bins. And finally, people caught on to it. Well, part of the problem is, if you look, it doesn't even say who's, it doesn't say Luis Gasca. It doesn't, I didn't even know until a few years ago what the name of the album is. Even on the spine, it doesn't say that. The only way you know that it's called For Those Who Chant, I think it was on the record label. It's not even on the record label. Maybe it's on the inside, but anyway, that's what it's called. Yeah, at the top it just says For Those Who Chant. So anyway, I digress. But what is it? It is absolutely phenomenal Latin jazz rock album. It part of it is about half the album I'd say is Latin jazz, and the other half is clearly Latin rock. And the lineup on this album is absolutely insane. So Luis Gasca, his background was he played trumpet for a while with Santana. So you have the entire Santana band on here. You have Luis Gasca on trumpet and flugelhorn, Joe Henderson on tenor sax. Joe's, you know, Joe Henderson.
Legend. Yep.
The guitarists are Carlos Santana and Neil Sean. On keyboards, you got George Cables, who's phenomenal. Greg Rowley, Mark Levine, and Richard Kermode. So those were all Santana guys, right? Drummers, you got Lenny White and Michael Shreve. So now you got like the Return to Forever thing happening. Stanley Clark is the bass player. And then on congas, you got Victor Pantoja, Michael Carabello. On timbales, Carmelo Garcia, Coke Escovedo, and percussion, Rico Reyes, and of course, Snooky Flowers. I don't know Snooky.
And again, half of those guys from Santana.
They're all like Santana guys. So, and it's very much, I'd say about half of the album is very much in the Santana mode. And the other half of it is just superb Latin jazz that won't hurt you a bit to listen to and enjoy.
Yeah. I have that on CD, folks. It's really good.
Yeah, the CD has been out of print for
Yeah.
years. It came out on P-Vine in Japan, and it's a really great record. And the thing is, like, I think people are just kind of getting hip to it now. So it got reissued last year, and I said, oh, let's bring that in. So yeah. So don't ask me about the CD. You'll have to go on Discogs for that.
Which is where I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, nobody ever knew what it was. I mean, I used to see it even for a quarter. So, and oh, the other thing about it, I can't say about the new pressing, but it was done by Verve, but it's a fantastic recording.
Yeah.
So you've got all this percussion work going on, and if your system is set up right, man, it's like panoramic. You've got the spread, and you hear these guys all around the room. It's really cool.
And a lot of the tracks have a lot of atmosphere, and I would think if you like Caravanserai era Santana,
Yeah,
you're in for a treat with this thing. It's really
yeah.
good. And
And
I
you,
might as well mention it for those who haven't seen it. We did this Latin rock, Latin jazz rock.
yeah,
What is that? Latin?
Latin rock primer. Yeah,
Yeah, God, 2 years ago.
yeah,
Yeah, if you didn't catch it, go watch it. Really good episode. We talk about a lot of albums like this, some fairly famous and some not so famous, all from that scene. So if you're a jazz rock fan, you like Latin rock and jazz rock, a lot of good bands and albums we talk about on
yeah.
that episode.
You ever wondering what that Chango album was when you were flipping through the bins? Now
We
you'll
talk
know.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah, so that was good. That was a fun show to do.
it was. Yeah, it
So
was.
yeah, definitely worth revisiting. Okay, let's move on. Next vinyl, Riverside triple live. This is on black vinyl. So I noticed that the set list it concentrated more on the more recent material. So in fact, I don't think there was anything from the really early albums. Maybe Second Life Syndrome might be a track too, but yeah, that's okay. They put out a lot of live stuff on their own. They have a fan club, and they put releases out just exclusive for their fan club. So okay, that's it for vinyl. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, I set up a little section of them because I love this band, Orison Space Collective. So I actually going to turn this. I'm going to turn this off so I can hold the stuff up, and I'm even going to turn off Prezi. So Orison, or there you go. So Orison Space Collective. Well, let's just call them like a European space rock collective. The main guy, Richie Heller, goes by the name of Dr. Space. He's an American living in Portugal at the moment, and he he's a great keyboard player. We released one of their albums, their 44th album. I think they're now up to like 46, and it's crazy. And there's more coming. Incredibly prolific, and what they are Richard brings Scott, I should say, he brings together all these guys from different parts of Europe over the years, and they've been around for a long time. And these, if you're into space rock, psychedelic music, I mean, these are unbelievable albums. You've got guys. There's like a core lineup, but every one is a little different. And they're all kind of cut from a similar cloth. But you've got guys from Magusa, trying to think of some of the other bands. Matthias Olsson from Engelgard's on here. You got guys from the prog world and from the space rock world. I just want to pull up these covers. That's why I closed Prezi. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, they're they're, and like for example, this one, everyone is evil. This was this was a jam. It's one piece of music that covers three sides of the album. I mean,
That's what they do, right? Yeah.
yeah, this is what they do. Oily echoes of the soul. I mean, it's this one. This is one of the first ones I ever had. Four Riders Take Space Mountain. So, my whole thing with Space Mountain was, is this like was this like a Ric Flair thing, I don't know.
Woo!
Hey, listen, let's see if I got it. Did it come out? There you go. Did that come through? I don't know if that came through.
All right, I did it myself, so it's all
Well,
right.
all right. Wait, let me wait. All right, now I started, so I got music coming through. Like, okay. So anyway, Four Riders Take Space Mountain, and then last one that I have here, Sleeping with the Sunworm. Is It's just like again, this is like it's three. It's one piece of music that spans three tracks, three sides of the vinyl, and it's man, it's just great space rock. I mean, you want to just roll a big fatty. and turn the lights out and
And
just
all their albums are long, so you're in for the long haul, right?
yeah, that's the thing. They're not. These are not 5 minute tunes. There are no 5 minute tunes here. So anyway, so what happened was we got in these four titles. Plus, I had some others in stock. So I set up a little section on the front. If you're into that kind of a thing, I am. I love this band, and in fact, I gave them a nice order for CDs. So next, about next month maybe, box will show up, and I'll have some Orison Space Collective CDs. And we have very good prices on these. They tend to be very expensive. They're very, very limited. Some of these things they only press here, like this they pressed 199 copies on black vinyl, that kind of thing. So that's what it is, you know, and that's what I got for the week. Not oh, next week we have some cool shit coming. Look at this thing. Anthony was bugging me. Anthony, if you don't buy this, I'm going to kill you. G3, Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson, Steve Vai, the G3 reunion live, the original lineup on their 2024 tour. So we have the CD, we've got this. Anyway, we'll have that for next week. So they just showed up here.
Nice little set.
Yeah, and we're already packing up Dream Theater, and we're gonna try our best to get it into people's hands in time for Street Date, February 7th. Don't ask me. You're not getting it early.
2 weeks from today, folks. So yeah,
Yeah, and we're doing our best. We're just
the moment has arrived, or will soon arrive.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's other stuff that's gonna filter in. I don't know what else next week will look like, but we'll see.
Cool.
All right.
Sounds good. And as always, we will have all of these titles posted down below in the comments. And the link is lasercd.com. So if you like to copy and paste stuff, which I know you do, because I think on last week's I got them posted a little late and people were like, where's the list? Where's the list? We're ready to copy and paste. I'm like, I know
Right.
it. I know it.
Right.
Um, so that's all. That'll all be down below in the comment section. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you next week here on the Professor's Picks we've got coming up. Tomorrow, we have the UK Connection is tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about some pretty notable albums that we like a lot, where we feel that side two of the album is where it's at. That's coming up. Not an easy thing to figure out, right? Because I think how many great albums we love are front loaded.
Yeah,
One, right? That's probably 95% of the time, if not more.
they're
So it's
tricky.
really interesting trying to go out and find albums that I like a lot where I'm like, okay, yeah, side two is better than side one. Maybe not by much, but it is. Was not an easy assignment. So that's coming up tomorrow on the UK Connection. And then on Sunday, I will be ranking the albums, our top 10 albums, along with Grant Arthur of Australia's The Little River Band. So it's coming up on Sunday for all of you. You know what? Really good band. Everybody knows them as kind of like this yacht rock pop band. They had a lot of really cool stuff in the 70s. So in listening to this catalog for the last couple of weeks and specifically the last couple of days, fine tuning my list, I'm like, wow, this was a lot more to this band than I always thought, which is always cool when you discover that, right? So that's coming up on Sunday. Till then, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together, all the damn time. You know what, Ken? Next year will be the 25th anniversary of the website.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, 2001. Man, time is flying, and we're getting old.
Oh, for sure. That's for sure, man.
Uh,
I told you I told you my highlight. What was your highlight for 2024? I'll tell you what mine was.
my highlight,
The highlight for 2024.
I don't even know. The fact that I survived another year, I couldn't even tell you. I don't know.
You know what my highlight was? Going on Medicare.
Oh, yeah.
I qualified. I turned 65 in November. Qualified for Medicare. I was like,
I have 6 years to go.
yeah. Unbelievable. And who knows?
That is a big deal in life, though, nowadays, especially here,
Uh,
right? So, yeah,
I don't want to get political, but I'll just say, who knows what's going to happen over the next four.
we'll see. We'll see.
There you go.
So, happy shopping, everybody, as always.
Yeah, buy a lot, buy often,
There you
please.
go. That's the mantra. So we'll see you next time here on the Professor's Picks for Ken Golden. I am Pete Pardo. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, and all the links down below. I'm not going to repeat them again because I repeat them all the damn time. But we are here all the damn time. So thanks everybody for Ken Golden. I am Pete Pardo. Have a good one. Take care.